Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् रामो राजमणिः सदा विजयते रामं रमेशं भजे रामेणाभिहता निशाचरचमू रामाय तस्मै नमः रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं रामे चित्तलयः सदा भवतु मे भो राम मामुद्धर समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। 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 We'll chant third, fourth, and fifth mantra. Shaunako Havai Mahashalah Angirasam. I want to repeat. Let us repeat. Shaunako Havai Mahashalah. Shaunako Havai Mahashalah Angirasam Vidivat Upasannah Papracha. Vidivat Upasannah Papracha. Papracha Kasminnu Bhagavo Vijñāte Sarvamidam Vijñātam Bhavatīti Tasmai Sahovacha Dve Vidye Veditavye Iti Hasma Yad Brahmavido Vadanti Parachaiva Paracha Tatra Para Rugvedo Yajurvedah Samavedo Atharvavedah Shiksha Kalpo Vyakaranam Niruktam Chando Jyotishamiti Athapara Yaya Tadaksharam Adigamyate Shaunak Maharshi has come to Angira Rishi and is asking a question. Kasminnu bhagavo vijñate sarvamidam vijñatam bhavati iti. What is that knowing by which everything becomes known? There is one cause of this entire universe. Shaunak Maharshi is asking, I want to know the details about that cause. In 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan calls this as Satvik Jnanam. Avibhaktam Vibhakteshu. Being able to see that one non-dual truth amidst the manyness of names and forms, that vision is called as Satvika Drishti. So Shaunak Maharshi, who has Sattva Guna as his qualification, he is asking this question. Please teach me that truth, which is the substratum origin of this whole universe. Rajasic Jnanam, Bhagwan says, is seeing bits and pieces or seeing things as they are. To see this as a mic, harmonium, podium, TV, he says that is Rajasic Jnanam. Or people also. To see a person as friend, another person as enemy, third person as well-wisher. Suhrun mitra rudasina madhyastha dveshya bandhushu. Sadhushvapija papeshu. 9 different types of people. 6th chapter Bhagwan elaborates, Bhagavad Gita. To see them as that person, he says that is Rajasic Jnanam. To see a person as good, bad, indifferent, that is Rajasic Jnanam. Because you are seeing manyness still. Satvik Jnanam was, in spite of seeing differences in their personality, being able to say that Atma Tattva, which is common substratum of all jivas, this whole universe, why only jivas? So Rajasic Jnanam is seeing things as they are. Tamasic Jnanam is holding on to one small thing and taking that to be absolute. Tamasic Jnanam is holding on to some small thing in this creation and thinking that alone to be whole and soul of life. It could be a person, it could be an ideology. Wherever part is considered as whole, Bhagwan says that is Tamasika Jnanam. Anyway, the reason I brought it up here is what Shaunak Maharshi ji is asking is a Sattvic vision. He says, Bhagwan, I see manyness here, but I've heard that there is one common substratum of this world of plurality. I want to know more about that non-dual truth. So Shaunak, our Angira Rishi, he started by saying there are 2 types of knowledge. One is called as Para Vidya, another is called as Apara Vidya. Both are worthy of being known. But the limitation of Apara Vidya is it gives us something in material world, but cannot give us freedom from samsara. As far as world is concerned, the main means of accomplishing anything in this world is Apara Vidya, lower knowledge. But as far as moksha is concerned, liberation is concerned, the means is Para Vidya, higher knowledge. 5th mantra elaborated about Apara Vidya. What are different types of Apara Vidyas? First one is all the 4 Vedas. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. The mantras by themselves are part of Apara Vidya, lower knowledge. Then if you consider Veda as a person, this person has limbs. So the limbs are called as Anga. So limbs of Veda will be called as Vedanga. 6 different Vedangas were pointed out. First one was called Shiksha. Shiksha. She is Rasvadar, not Shiksha, Shiksha. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it is said Shiksham Yakhyasamaha. So it is Chandasa Prayoga. Chandasa Prayoga. So Shiksha is phonetics, how to get pronunciation right. Is it Shiksha or Shiksha? That is called as phonetics, Shiksha. So Shiksha is the nose of Veda, and we saw different points under it. I will not repeat all of that. Second one is Kalpa, the instructions on how to do rituals. That is the second Vedanga, also known as the arms of Vedas. Just our hands as they help us do several things, accomplish several things. Like that, Kalpa helps use Veda mantras in rituals. How to do the arrangements, bricks, etc. Which mantra to be chanted. That is part of Kalpa. Third one is Vyakarana, Shabdanushasanam. How to purify words. How to regulate words such that their formation is correct. That methodology is called as Vyakaranam. So Vyakaranam is the mouth of Vedas. Different ways in which nouns and verbs are formed. All of that is under Vyakaranam. Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakaranam, Niruktam. Fourth one was Niruktam, means etymology. The way of opening up words by looking at the Upasarga, Dhatu, and Pratyaya. Upasarga means what comes before the Dhatu, prefix. And Pratyaya is that which comes after the Dhatu, suffix. This is the example we had seen was Ma Dhatu. If you change what comes before and after, you can get Sammana, Apamana, Pramana. Different words can be formed with different combination. That is called as Niruktam. That is the ear of Veda. Fifth one is Chandasa. Chandas means meter, different types of meters, which help first in expressing a thought in a very precise way. If you have only few words to express, it's like writing a tweet. 140 characters, you have to fit in that only. So you have to keep thinking, what is the best way to express in that? So Chandas is that there are rules on how many letters can be used in one shloka. So it gives a lot of precision in expression and helps in memorizing. That is another benefit of Chandas. So Chandas is called as the feet of Veda. And the last one is Jyotisha. Jyotisha means astrology. Trying to find the right time for rituals. The planetary positions, how they should be such that if Putra Kama Yajna is done, that Yajna should give result. That is a primary role of Jyotish Shastra, but it can also predict the events on a very broad scale for a human being. The Jyotish Shastra, because it sees in the future, it is called as Eye of Veda. Then some Purva Paksha had come, but we will see it as part of Bhashya. We had seen the summary of it without Bhashya, but now we will see with Bhashya. Okay, fifth mantra. After that, fifth mantra. Tatra ka apara iti uchyate. Did you all find it? Online? You all found? Okay, good. Tatra ka apara iti uchyate. Rugvedo yajurvedah. Samavedo atharvavedah. Ityete chatvaro vedaha. Shiksha kalpo vyakaranam. Niruktam chando jyotishamiti. Angani Shadesha Apara Vidya Atha Idanim Iyam Para Vidya Uchyate Yaya Tadvakshamana Visheshanam. अक्षरम अधिगम्यते प्राप्यते अधिपूर्वस्य गमेः प्रायशः प्राप्त्यर्थत्वत् प्राप्त्यर्थ प्राप्त्यर्थत्वत् प्राप्त्यर्थत्वत् त्वात् is there? Okay. प्राप्त्यर्थत्वात् न च परप्राप्तेः अवगमार्थस्य च भेदः अस्ति अविद्यायाः अपायः एव हि प्राप्ति न अर्थांतरम परप्राप्ति ही न अर्थांतरम एव हि परप्राप्ति ही न अर्थांतरम. From the beginning we will see tatra ka apara iti uchyate. You said dve vidye veditavye iti hasma para chaiva paracha. Two types of knowledge are worthy of being known. One is called as para, another is called as apara. So if the question is between these two, what is called as apara vidya? Tatra apara vidya ka, which one is apara vidya? What is apara vidya? Rigvedaha Yajurvedaha. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda. All the four Vedas, they are part of Apara Vidya. Iti ete chatvarah Vedaha. Four types of Vedas, they fall under Apara Vidya. Then the Vedangas are listed. Shiksha, Kalpaha, Vyakaranam, Niruktam, Chandaha, Jyotisham. Six Vedangas are listed. Iti angani shad esha apara vidya. So if you want to combine both of them, how will you say? Veda and Vedanga together is called as apara vidya. Veda and Vedanga together is called as apara vidya. But we have to keep in mind, this is just an example of apara vidya. All other vidyas will also be included under apara vidya only. So vidya of Artha Shastra, Natya Shastra, Sangeeta Shastra, Chikitsa Shastra. Any vidya which is keeping ahankara intact, any vidya which protects ahankara, that vidya is apara vidya. See, Raman Maharishi's definition is a great blessing to understand all these words in a very precise way. Even when it comes to Shreya Preya, he says there also it is helpful to use the same definition. What is Preya? That which keeps ahankara intact. What is Shreya? That which negates ahankara, takes us to our infinitude. So here it is apara vidya. What is apara vidya? Veda, Vedanga, and all other knowledge. Now the question should come, Upanishad is also part of Vedas. That is the Purva Paksha. So how come you say Brahma Vidya coming from Upanishad is Para Vidya? Because just now you said Vedas are Apara Vidya. And in Veda only there is Upanishad. So why do you distinguish both of them? That will come. That Purva Paksha will come. But for now we have to understand Apara Vidya is Vedas and Vedanga. Atha idanim iyam Para Vidya uchyate. After elaborating what is Apara Vidya, now what is Para Vidya is being mentioned. Yaya tad vakshamana visheshanam is a very important definition. Yaya means by that Paravidya, tad vakshamana visheshanam, what is going to be told in sixth mantra. Vakshamana means we have not told it yet. It will come in the next mantra. Aksharam, 12 indicators will be given. In sixth mantra, 12 indicators will be given. You can give one word for those 12 indicators, akshara. Aksharam adhigamyate prapyate. That akshara is attained. Adhigamyate means attained. Gam means to go. Adhigam means to go close and attain it. So that knowledge by which this akshara tattva is attained, that knowledge is called as Para Vidya. Yaya means that by which. Tad aksharam. Which aksharam? That which will be elaborated in sixth mantra. Vakshamana Visheshanam. That which we will elaborate in sixth mantra. That akshara tattva is gained through that knowledge. That knowledge is called as Para Vidya. Shankaracharya says, if you are paying attention, the moment you hear the word prapyate, a pakka student of Vedanta will get alerted. He says, what is this prapyate? Means right now it is unattained. That I have to go and attain it at some point. He says, I know. You will ask that question. Adhipurvasya gamehe prayashah praptyarthatvat. In general, Adi plus gam dhatu, when you use it, adhigama word, what it means is prapti. Mostly it is used in the meaning of attainment. Prayashah means mostly. It is used in the form of attainment. But over here, nacha parapraptehe avagamarthasya cha bhedah asti. In the case of akshara tattva, there is no difference in knowing and attaining. Parapraptehe means in attaining that paravastu, akshara vastu. Avagamarthasya. Avagama means to know. See how nicely he is bringing that upasarga. He says in case of Atma, adhigama and avagama is the same. Adhigama means to attain and avagama means to know. What example will you give for this? Atma Bodha shlokas. Different Atma Bodha shlokas. 4th verse of Atma Bodha and 44th verse of Atma Bodha. Two examples are there. Parichinna iva ajnanat. Parichinna iva ajnanat means this Atma Tattva is looking conditioned because of ignorance. Tannashe sati kevalam. When that ajnanam is destroyed, that kevalam, that pure consciousness alone remains. Swayam prakashate hyatma megha payemshu maniva. That Atma Tattva is self-shining. Just like when you remove the cloud, what is there is self-shining sun. Means the main part here was only removal of ignorance. Atma was ever attained. We thought that it was unattained. That is why knowing itself is attaining. That Akshara Tattva that we are seeking, first of all, is not different from us. It is eternal, it is ever attained. That is why Adhigama and Avagama both are the same. Attainment is the same as knowing. Or when you know it, we attain it. Second example is Swakanta Bharanam Yatha. So 44th verse, Atma Bodha said, Atma to satatam praptopi. Atma is ever attained, but it looks as though it is unattained due to ignorance. Apraptavat avidyaya. Tannashe praptavat bhati. Moment you remove ignorance, it appears as though we have attained Atma. Swakanta Bharanam Yatha. Although that necklace was right there, that person was crying, lamenting, thinking that it is lost. When he comes to know it is right here, crying stops. So it is as though he has attained that necklace, but in reality, it was ever there. So, what is the difference between knowing the necklace and attaining the necklace? Both are the same. You can say he attained the necklace, but really what we want to say is he came to know that it was ever present with him. Knowing and attainment, it is one and the same. See, whatever is said in Bhashya, same ideas you will find in Prakana Granthas, but in a very sweet way. See how nicely Chandas is used. But lot of echoes you will find from Bhashya only. Same author, Shankaracharya only is writing Atma Bodha. Next he says, the fourth mantra of Atma Bodha, what we saw, fourth shloka, that he is elaborating. Avidyayaha apayaha eva hi parapraptihi na arthantaram. In this journey towards moksha, it is erroneous to say knowledge gives liberation. It is erroneous to say knowledge gives liberation. This is what knowledge does is only removes ignorance. Knowledge will not produce anything new. Jnanam, if it is there, it will not do utpatti, nor it will modify, nor it will purify. What jnanam will do is, whatever is there, it will just remind us of its nature. So he says, avidyayaha apayaha, removal of ignorance, eva hi paraprapti. That alone is attaining the supreme. Na arthantaram, not anything else. That's why the last few verses of Saddarshanam also, similar idea was there. He says, liberation is there only so long as we think we are bound. The notion of bondage itself is because of ignorance. That ignorance, this Vidya will remove. Okay. Now the Purva Paksha, who says, why did you distinguish Para Vidya from Vedas? A lot of problems will come. If you say Vedas are Apara Vidya, and you said Athapara, different from Apara Vidya is something that you are going to talk about now, which means what? You have distinguished Para Vidya from Vedas. Brahma Vidya will become Veda Bhashya. So that Purva Paksha is raised. Nanu Rugvedadi Bhashya Tarhi Sa Katham Para Vidya Syat Moksha Sadhanam Cha Ya Veda Bhashyaha Smrutayah Itihi Smaranti. What is it? Oh, some other thing is there, huh? Okay, I'll check and bring, but in my reading, next one is Kudrushtitvat. Did you all find it? Little bit further. Kudrushtitvat Nishphalatvat. Kudrushtitvat Nishphalatvat Anadeya Asyat Upanishadam Cha Rugvedadi Bahyatvam Syat Rugvedaditve Tu Pruthak Karanam Anarthakam Athapara iti. Nanu, if Nanu means objection. He is saying, you said Rugvedadi Bhashya. This Brahma Vidya is different from Rugvedadi. Then it will become different, or it will become out of Vedas. If Para Vidya is out of Vedas, Rugvedadi Bhashya Syat, Sa Katham Para Vidya. How can you call it Para Vidya? And Katham Moksha Sadhanam Syat. how can it be means for moksha? When this is a sadhaka whose mind is so tuned with Shastra. He says, if I have to accept something as goal of my life, if I have to accept something as direction in my life, he says it has to be endorsed by Vedas. If it is different from Veda, how can I take it up as moksha sadhana? You might call it as Para Vidya. But what has happened there is it has fallen outside of Vedas. So that is the first point he brings up. If Para Vidya is different from Veda, then first thing is I cannot take it as moksha sadhanam. Ya Veda Bhashyaha Smrutayah iti hi smaranti. The smrutis which are there, they say whatever is Veda Bhashya, that doesn't give right vision. So that is where that quotation has come, I think. Yaschakasya kudrushtitvat. Yaschakasya smrutayah kudrushtayah sarvahataha nishphalaha pretya tamonishtaha hi tasmrutaha. That's how it continues. Whatever is Veda Bhashya, that will not give right vision. And if we live our life according to that, our life will be nishphala. Nishphalatvat means while we are in this body, we'll be unhappy. And after dropping this body, next destination will not be good destination. He says, that is my understanding, that if you follow anything which is Veda Bhashya, which is not endorsed in scriptures, he says our destination is not going to be good destination. Second reason, kudrushtitvat nishphalatvatcha. He says it will not bring the right vision if you say Para Vidya is different from Vedas. Therefore, it is anadeya. Anadeya means I will not make it as my varanam. One should not take such a thing which is contrary to scriptures. Anadeya syat. Upanishadam cha Rugvedadi Bhahyatvam syat. If you said Para Vidya is different from Veda, then Upanishad, which is going to give this Para Vidya, that will become different from Vedas. So all three limitations which I pointed out will apply to Upanishad also. Who is saying this? Purva Paksha. What are the three limitations? He says first one is it cannot become moksha sadhana. If it is different from Vedas, it will not be moksha sadhana. Second one is it will not give the right vision and result will be futile. Life here and hereafter will not be good. And the third one, he says, if it is Veda Bhashya, I cannot make it as my varanam. I cannot make it as goal of my life. If you say Upanishad is Veda Bhashya, then all these problems will apply even to Upanishads. Now if you say Rugvedaditvetu Prutakaranam Anarthakam. If you say no, Upanishad is part of Veda only. If you say that, then why do you make the distinction? Atha para yaya tadaksharam adigamyate. You said Vedas fall under Apara Vidya, and now we are going to start Para Vidya. Why make that distinction if Upanishad was already part of Vedas? Now the answer. Na Vedya Vishaya Vijnanasya Vivakshitatvat Upanishad Vedya Akshara Vishayam Hi Vijnanam Iha Para Vidya iti Pradhanyena Vivakshitam Na Upanishad Shabda Rashihi Veda Shabdena Tu Sarvatra Shabda Rashihi Vivakshitah Shabda Rashi Adhigame Api Yatnantaram Antarena Guru Abhigamana Adilakshanam Vairagyam Cha Na Aksharadigamaha Sambhavati iti Prutakkaranam Brahmavidyayaha Para Vidya iti Kathanam Cha iti. Bhagavan says no. Don't say that. All these defects will apply to Upanishads. Vedya Vishaya Vijnanasya Vivakshitatva. When we say Para Vidya, what we are talking about is knowledge of Akshara Tattva. The Prama, the knowledge that takes place after Shravanam, doubts which are resolved after Mananam, and abidance which is gained after Nididhyasanam, that Vishuddha Prama, that pure Prama is called as Paravidya. Doubtless knowledge minus erroneous notions. That knowledge is different from the words which are indicating that knowledge. That knowledge is different from words that are indicating that knowledge. Therefore, this distinction is made. It's a very nice phrase. Huh? Vedya Vishaya Vijnanasya Vivakshitatvat. Vedya Vishaya means Prama of Akshara, knowledge of Akshara Tattva. Vijnanasya, Vijnana means Prama, clear, doubtless knowledge, minus any erroneous notions. That is the implied meaning of the word Paravidya. We are not referring to the words of Upanishads. Upanishad Vedya Akshara Vishayam. Whatever is indicated by the Upanishad, that Akshara Tattva, Akshara Vishayam, he Vijnanam iha Paravidya. Again is repeating that Prama is called as Paravidya. Pradhanyena Vivakshitam. This is the primary meaning of the word Paravidya. Knowledge is called as Paravidya. Na Upanishad Shabda Rashihi. Not the words of Upanishad. So words of Upanishad are still part of Apara Vidya. Shabda Rashi is part of Apara Vidya. The knowledge indicated by that Shabda Rashi is part of Para Vidya. Means, for example, Ishavasya Upanishad is also used in some rituals. The mantra part of it, although Bhagwan said in the beginning, it is not meant for rituals, or you can say it is used for Parayanam. It can be used for just chanting. Unless the chanter is questioned, unless the understanding dawns that I am not the chanter, it will still fall under Apara Vidya. But the moment I chant it, remember the meaning, understand that I am the substratum of this Vyavahara of chanting. I am not the one who is chanting it. That knowledge is called as Paravidya. I mean, this discussion is only to tell us that we have to be very alert while studying Vedanta. Because so many words will be used. So many things will be taught. So many concepts will be taught. What is the sum and substratum of all those things? It's shifting attention to our higher nature. That knowledge we are gaining should not become another Apara Vidya. If I call myself as knower of Vedanta, it is not Para Vidya, it is Apara Vidya. Para Vidya is that which removes finitude, which shifts attention to our own higher nature. No Upanishad Shabda Rashi. Mere words of Upanishad is not Paravidya. Veda Shabdena tu Sarvatra Shabda Rashihi Vivakshitaha. He said in the mantra when it was said, Rigveda, Yajurvedas, when the word Veda was used, what they meant was the words of Vedas, Shabda Rashihi. Shabda Rashi Vivakshita. Now, if somebody learns Vedic chanting, becomes familiar with Vedic lifestyle, still, after doing all of that, they will have to put forth effort to develop sadhana chatushtaya, go to a teacher, and do shravanam. Shabda Rashi Adhigame Api means even after knowing the words of Vedas, after knowing Vedic chanting, Yatnantaram Antarena, separate effort is needed. What is that effort? Guru Abhigamanadi Lakshanam. Approaching a teacher, like how Shaunak Maharshi did, with this understanding that I am here to learn. I might know Shabda Rashi, but to understand what is indicated by Shabda Rashi, he says we have to go and do thorough Shravanam. If I do Shravanam, will I get Para Vidya? He says there is one more criteria. Vairagyam cha. Means I should make Para Vidya as my goal. I should make Akshara Tattva as my goal, abidance in consciousness, self-abidance as my goal. So only then I will actually get this Para Vidya. Bhagwan brings it up in several places. In 12th chapter also he will bring. Arjuna, you are constantly saying mind is not settling down in God. Mind is not settling down in God. He says, sit quietly and ask yourself, do you really want God? That thing which you don't want, it is not surprising if mind doesn't settle there. So Vairagyam Cha means he has made Paravidya as his goal. Akshara is his main Varaniya Vastu, that which he wants to abide. Without this, na Akshara Adhigama Sambhavati. Without Guru Abhigamana, without doing Shravanam systematically, without having the qualifications. See, Sadhana Chatushtaya, all of them are not listed here. Only one is listed. He says Vairagya is all we need. One of the important ones that we need. Without these two, knowledge of Paravidya does not take place. Shabda Rashi might be there. Either Upanishad Shabda Rashi or other concept Shabda Rashi also might be. But unless Vairagya comes in our life, Akshara Adhigama doesn't take place. Abidance in the truth doesn't take place. Therefore, Pruthak Karanam, the separation that we did between Apara Vidya and Para Vidya, it is appropriate. Brahma Vidyayaha Para Vidya iti Kathanam Chaiti. Okay. It's a very nice Purva gives a lot of clarity on why Brahma Vidya is different and how we should not get stuck in words. Those words should help us turn attention to the truth. Okay. Now the next mantra is a very, very important mantra. All of us have to memorize this mantra. Okay. I realized in every text, we should have at least few shlokas, few mantras that are memorized, that is with us. Whole text will come in our palm if these mantras and these shlokas are, very well digested. This mantra, sixth mantra, is nature of Akshara Tattva. What is the nature of Akshara? What is Paravidya? That is elaborated in sixth mantra. Just like in previous mantra, what is Apara Vidya? Veda and Vedangas were elaborated. So what is Paravidya? That elaboration is in sixth mantra. Now there are some trivias about this. The first line of this mantra, Yattadadreshyam Agrahyam, all the way until Tadapani Padam. Tadapani Padam, until that point, is referring to Twampada, Lakshartha. That truth is indicated through individual conditioning. Okay. And Nityam Vibhum Sarvagatam Sushukshmam until Dhiraha. That is referring to Tatpada Lakshartha. Tatpada Lakshartha. Okay. First line is referring to Tvam-pada Lakshartha. Second line is referring to. We will see the mantra. Huh? We will see the mantra. I'm just giving the way in which this mantra is opening up. Okay. How many indicators are there? 12 indicators. 6 in the first line, 6 in the second line. First line refers to Tvam-pada Lakshartha. Second line refers to Tatpada Lakshartha. Another way in which these indicators are classified is first line refers to negation. First line is negation. Second line is assertion. Okay. First line is Nishedha. Nishedha Mukha. Second line is Vidimukha. Assertion is second line. The reason we are discussing this is, see, we have studied Vedanta, right, for several years, some of us. Some might have said, I've just started, but some text we have studied, Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha, other Upanishads. If you say, have I understood Para Vidya? Have I understood Atma Lakshana? What should happen is, all these 12 indicators should match my understanding of Akshara. All these 12 indicators should match my understanding of Akshara Tattva. And if I find some gap, oh, I thought Akshara is like this, or this particular indicator is not clear, that means I have to go back and reflect on that indicator. These 12 Lakshanas, we can meditate upon them one per month. 1 year meditation package is here. Because every Lakshana will turn our attention to the truth. And that has to become clear. Only then I can say, Para Vidya is opening up for me. Okay, that is the importance of this mantra. It is actually Mahavakya. Whenever Tvam-pada and Tatpada is indicated together, that is called as Mahavakya. Always it will not be said Tat Tvam Asi. Okay? Many Mahavakyas will be, they will just mention Tvam-pada indication, Tatpada indication, and leave it at that. So we have to understand whatever they're talking about is the same thing. Okay, I'll repeat this again. That Akshara Tattva, first they will talk about from Tvam-pada standpoint. Where is Tvam-pada? Here. Okay, they will talk from Tvam-pada standpoint. Same Akshara Tattva, they will talk from Tatpada standpoint. And they will move on to the next mantra. How is this Mahavakya? Because it is one and the same. Same Akshara Tattva they are talking about as substratum of Tvam. And same Akshara Tattva they are talking about as substratum of Tat. Therefore, it is Mahavakya. In some places, it will be explicitly mentioned. This is the substratum of creation. This is the witness of thought. Sakshi is witness of thought. And Brahma is substratum of creation. Atma is witness of thought. Brahma is substratum of creation. That Brahma, you are. That Brahma is Atma. So it will be explicitly mentioned. That is another Mahavakya. But in mantras like this, they are just mentioned without any equation. Asipada is not there. Tatpada is there, Tvam-pada is there. We have to understand the Asipada. Okay. With all this background, let us chant this mantra. Yattat adreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam achakshushrodram tat apanipadam nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam tat avyayam यद्भूतयोनिं परिपश्यन्ति धीराः. Again, we'll repeat this. यत्तदद्रेश्यम् अग्राह्यम् अगोत्रम् अवर्णम् अचक्षुश्रोत्रम् तदपाणिपादम् नित्यं विभुम् सर्वगतं सुसूक्ष्मम् तदव्ययम् यद्भूतयोनिम् परिपश्यन्ति धीराः. Together. यत्तदद्रेश्यम् अग्राह्यम् अगोत्रम् अवर्णम् अचक्षुश्रोत्रम् तदपाणिपादम् नित्यं विभुं सर्वगतं सुसूक्ष्मं तदव्ययम् यद्भूतयोनिं परिपश्यन्ति धीराः. If you want to mark the pauses, you can mark it again. Huh? Again we will chant. यत्तदद्रेश्यम् अग्राह्यम् अगोत्रम् अवर्णम् अचक्षुश्रोत्रम् तदपाणिपादम् नित्यं विभुं सर्वगतं सुसूक्ष्मं तदव्ययम् यद्भूतयोनिं परिपश्यन्ति धीराः. First we will see without Bhashya, just like we do for every mantra. One sadhaka shared with me, he says this Bhashya is very interesting for me. When I listen to it, I feel I'm understanding it, but at the same time, I'm not understanding. But he said at the same time, I'm unable to let go of it. If you say skip Bhashya, he said that is not possible. Did I get everything? He said, no, I did not get. There is still more. Did I not get anything? He says, no. Some points are so deep, they will come only from Bhashya. I said, first time when I studied, that was my feeling too. I'm sure you'll notice that many points which are coming here, we will miss all of that if you skip Bhashya. All the nuances which are there, they are only from Shankar Bhashya. But at the same time, there are so many layers. We have to constantly keep going back, keep reflecting. It takes several iterations, by the way, for any Upanishad to open up fully. This is one iteration is samskaras. Just keep gathering impressions. Then second iteration, whenever it comes, that time lot of things open up. Or it might happen with other Upanishad. Samskara we gathered from one Upanishad. Second Upanishad, when we see same ideas coming back, then things open up more in that Upanishad. Yat tat, that word is there, right? Yat tat. Shankaracharya says, Yat tat is being used to indicate Siddha Vastu. This Akshara Tattva which is there, that we are going to talk about now. Yat tat, so it's referring to a thing which is Siddha. Siddha means it is ever present, because of that everything functions. You don't have to establish that consciousness. Self-evident, that is the English translation. Yat tat. What is the first indicator? Adreshyam. Adreshyam means it never becomes an object of jnanendriyas. Never becomes an object of jnanendriyas, organ of perception. Eyes cannot see it, ears cannot hear it, tongue cannot taste. We cannot touch it. Neither can we smell it. Means if I am searching for Akshara, I cannot look outside. That is the implied meaning of this. Everything that I know, consciousness reflecting in a thought, goes out through sense organs and then knows things outside. And this consciousness will never be known in this way. Through sense organs, something outside as an object, something which is very far away. It is not there here, maybe somewhere it is there. I will go and find it. He says it will never become an object of sense organs. That is meant by the word adreshyam. I mean, this is every word is to remove some kind of erroneous notion. It might happen that a sadhaka might entertain this idea that I accept there is consciousness. I know there is something called as truth, but it is not here. It is somewhere that I have to go and seek. Right now, I cannot find it. At some point, I will get it. In some loka, I might get it, some blissful experience. He says it is adreshyam. It will never become an object of sense organs. Another implication is, see, we have sometimes a scientific mindset, right? We expect things to be brought in a lab and do some experiment with it. Repeat the experimentation. Then we say seeing is believing. Seeing is believing in what sense? If my eyes can see it, then I will believe in it. You know, Swami Akhandanand Maharaj, somebody asked him, have you seen God? Have you seen God? Ramakrishna Paramahansa gave different answer. Swami Vivekananda asked him, he said, I see him more clearly than I see you. But Maharaj, he said, he is drashta, he will never be drishya. He is drashta, he will never be drishya. Means our insistence of seeing everything as through sense organs, that is erroneous. There is something which is beyond sense organ, which will never become an object of sense organ. So in essential nature, Bhagwan is consciousness, is adreshyam. He is the illuminator of eyes and also can be seen through the eyes. That also don't deny it. Huh? Same Akshara Tattva, when it takes avatar, becomes Drushti Gochara. In its essential nature, it is Drashta. So if we have to seek God, we have to seek God inside and through purity of mind, seek Him outside. Who will get darshan of Bhagwan? One whose mind is very, very pure, one who is seeking Bhagwan and Bhagwan alone. So he has recognized Bhagwan within and he has recognized Bhagwan outside. Ekarupa Darshana is more difficult than Vishwarup Darshana. Because Vishwarup Darshana is Jnana Pradhana. You understand Bhagwan as this whole creation. Whatever we see is Bhagwan's form. But to see Ekarupa Bhagwan as one form, it needs great tapasya. All of them are divine, huh? But here it is said, the essential nature of God is adreshyam. It never becomes an object of sense organs. Second one is agrahyam. Agrahyam means never becomes object of karmendriya. Agrahyam literally means cannot be grasped. Grahanam is done through hands. Agrahyam means it cannot be grasped. But what is implied here is all organs of actions cannot comprehend or cannot do anything to consciousness. One commentator है जिसका कुछ नहीं बिगाड़ा जा सकता वो ब्रह्म है. One who cannot, that entity to whom you cannot do anything, that is Brahma. If you have seen Upanishad Ganga, there is one episode of Darashiko. He is captured and taken in a prison, and the people there are threatening him with different things. And he quotes this idea of Brahma, where he says, I know I am that truth which cannot be affected in any way. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka. He quotes that shloka from Bhagavad Gita. That which cannot be cleaved by any weapons, which cannot be burnt by fire, cannot be wet by water, cannot be moistened by moisture, or even air cannot blow it. That is this truth beyond the reach of karmendriyas. We cannot touch it, we cannot grasp it, nothing can be done of Akshara Tattva. How many indicators are done? 2. Total there are 6. Next one, we'll just see the name. Agotram. Agotram means, Gotra literally means lineage. Agotram means that which doesn't have any other origin, any other cause. Causeless truth, that is this Akshara. Agotram means that. During Shiva Parvati Vivaha, the Purohit who was there, he asked Lord Shiva, what is your grandfather's name? I want to know your Gotra. It is said Bhagwan Shiva told his name only. He said, what can I do? There is nobody before me. Puranas will depict these things in a poetic way. But what we have to understand is, Akshara Tattva is that which doesn't have another origin. This whole universe has some origin. You have to keep identifying the causes. Finally, it will reach an Akshara. Like in Mundakopanishad, they said if you are feeling thirsty, what is the cause? Agni Tattva has burnt the water inside. So from that Agni Tattva, come to air. From air, come to space. Teja up Annam. So from Teja, come to air. From air, come to space. From space, come to Maya. From Maya, come to Sat. So simple thing like thirst, it has a cause. That has another cause. That has another cause. Like that, if you ask what is the cause of Akshara, he says it is Agotram. There is no another cause of Akshara Tattva. It is always there. There was never a time it disappeared or got destroyed. That thing which is ever present doesn't need another cause. So it is Agotram. Other indicators we will see in the next session. But as I said, each indicator is for Nididhyasanam. First is we have to do Nididhyasanam. In that Nididhyasanam, we have to take each indicator and see, is my understanding the same as this? Where am I searching Akshara? Outside or inside? All indicators, we have to keep using it. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Which organ is associated to Kalpa?